Good morning, everyone. This is Rick from Rick's Clothing and Such, and I'm happy to be here today. And also with us today was a special treat. We have Jimmy Tangent behind the camera filming for us today. And today on Rick's Clothing and Such, I'd like to talk or give an overview about sewing machines, how they evolved, how they work, and that sort of thing. So if you would look at the Singer sewing machine, this Singer sewing machine is from 1942. And it's still going strong. It sits in a bed of oil and it stitches wonderfully. I've actually have 5 of these in the shop. But prior to the Civil War, there were no sewing machines. They were just being invented. And the ones that were invented, they'd have to turn them by hand, or eventually they had a treadle because there was no electricity to pedal them to move on. But this is the concept. So the thread comes down the thread stand, it goes through all these loops, it goes through these springs, it comes down, and it comes down to a needle, and the threaded needle is on the top. Now underneath, this is where the concept gets really, really good, is a bobbin case. And the bobbin's like a rim of a tire that's wrapped with thread. So it allows thread from the top and thread in the bottom. And how it's joined, that's really an interesting topic. So it's in the bobbin case. So I place the bobbin case underneath, and in the bobbin case there's a hook, and it snags the thread from the top and the bottom. So I'm going to turn the machine. It's going down inside the machine. It gets snagged, and the thread comes up top. So this is what it looks like, the finishing thread. It's a beautiful stitch. That's magnificent. But prior to the Civil War, if you wanted to sew clothes, dress, or a shirt, it was made entirely by hand. So the sides were done by hand, the sleeves were set by hand, the collar, the buttonholes were made by hand. There were no machines at all. And it was an arduous process. You'd go in for a suit of clothes, you'd be measured, you'd pick your cloth, the suit would be basted together, you would come in for several fittings, and over the course of months, your suit would be finally made. So now that with the concept of sewing machines, in the advent of the Civil War, it spurred all these entrepreneurs to start businesses of making uniforms. And that's where it all came into part, just before the Industrial Revolution. So they had rows and rows of machines like this, and they were assembling uniforms for the Civil War. So after the war, it's right in the middle of the Industrial Revolution, clothing outlets started building clothes. So if you walked into a store, you would see a size 40 or a 42 or a size 44. You can get your size, try the suit on with little of no alterations. Voila, you had a suit of clothes. In the coming episodes of my podcast, we're not only going to talk about the sewing machines and the advent of sewing machines. We'd like to talk a little bit about how to use a thimble, how to sew a button on, how to sew by hand, the different stitches that come about. And as I say, clothing and such, we might add a little jazz, a little music, a little bit about saxophones. I have a wonderful wheelbarrow collection. And we might talk about my wheelbarrows, but it's clothing and such. So the such is yet to come, and the best is yet to come. Talk soon.